So you may have seen the viral baby podcaster videos or just, how they're going viral. And if not, you're about to. So I'm going to show you some of the examples and then we're going to go through a tutorial that was posted on X, but we're going to actually go through all of the steps on this video. It's not hard to create a viral baby podcaster. That's the good news. So if you follow this tutorial, you'll be able to do it. And I think it's cool. Not everything could be so serious, and it's a way for you to make your audience laugh and your community laugh. So first, I'm going to bring up my screen here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about because you may have no idea what I'm talking about. And as you can see on the screen, it says AI baby videos are taking over the internet by Justine Moore. And infant podcasters, politicians, and CEOs like baby Elon discussing the national debt are racking up millions of views, and they're easy to make. She is absolutely correct. I've seen ones of Elon. I've seen ones of, Michael Saylor. I've seen ones that other people are doing, just a conversation between a baby and a dog that was really interesting. And, they're intriguing. It allows you to be able to just do something fun. So let's listen to this a little bit and then we'll learn how to make it ourselves.
Department spending. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest.
That's funny. And then here's Michael Saylor's.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
And then there's another one that's going viral. I think it's from Theo Vaughn. He's trending right now. So let me see. And here it is.
Swim. Turn off for me, can't swim. If you can't swim, honey, the earth is 80% water.
That's hilarious, right? So let's go through the tutorial and see how easy it is to make the viral baby podcaster. So I'm going to go back to this post on X. So it says, this is how to do it. So here's the tutorial. To start, you'll need a photo of your chosen baby. I tested a bunch of image models to make this and landed on Ideogram AI version 3 or Krea. I just went to ChatGPT and just asked it to create a baby. Now, I didn't ask it to create a public figure, but we could see if it is capable of doing that. This was the baby that I asked it to create, and I already did my version. So I'll show you mine at the end. But all we have to do is go here, and let me copy this prompt. We're going to go to ChatGPT, and we're going to create an image. Where is it? And then I said, can you make a photorealistic photo of a baby wearing a black turtleneck? So you could just say a baby. We could say a baby that looks similar to Gary Vaynerchuk sitting in front of a podcast microphone. And that's if you want to create an image of a baby or do a video of a baby that's of somebody famous. But you could just have it create an image of a baby. Like I just said, create an image of a baby wearing a black turtleneck with curly hair. It's important, though, that you use photorealistic in your prompt. So we're going to need two things to do this. You're going to need a photo and an audio file. We're going to do this one step at a time. Let's get the photo first. And if you have seen this before, put yes in the chat. But if it's brand new, let me know. So it's getting started. We'll give it a second. And then what we're going to need, we'll move to step 2 over here while this is generating. Once we have the photo, you'll need an audio. So this step was very easy. we just go to this website. Here's the profile, and then the website is called cobalt.tools. And all that we have to do here is put in a YouTube link or something from which we're getting the audio file from. Now, it's important to know that you don't necessarily need to do this, because when we go to the next step, you could just speak into what you're going to say and generate the audio on the spot. But if you wanted to use some of your sources, then, like I used a photo of that baby and then I put my own audio file and I had it say something from a YouTube video. If I'm going to use Gary Vee, maybe I could use one of his YouTube links. I don't know if it'll get flagged. But I wouldn't put like my words in the Gary Vee baby, right? So you just want to be careful of that. And then here, so it does kind of look like him, right? And all you would have to do is download. Okay. And we could click download. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'll use my baby again, but we could literally, we could say, create so make a photorealistic photo of a baby. I could say wearing a suit, sitting in front of a podcast microphone. We could use that one. And then, so let's go to the next step. So the next step would be to get the YouTube link, whatever YouTube video you want to get. If I'm going to use my own, you could just go to, so I'll get this one. And then all you have to do is go to this tool, which is cobalt.tools, and put in the YouTube link and then click enter. It will automatically download to your computer. So now you have the audio file. Once you do that, there's a final step. So once you get the image and everything, and the audio file, you'll go to Hedra Labs. So this is the last step, which is hedra.com. It'll look like this. You can do the video for free, except when it was free and I went to submit the video to create it, it was like, you'll have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't want to wait 30 minutes. I wanted to film the tutorial. So then I paid $10 to just get more access, but you can do this for free. Then up here, you're going to click video. Once you do that, and here's the one that I created. We'll listen to it. If you're a business owner and you do not start to go live on video in 2025, I can guarantee you that 18 months from now, you will regret that you did not start. And I'm going to share why in this video. Isn't that funny? Put a one in the chat if that's hilarious. I mean, I think it's cool, right? It's different. It gets attention and they're going viral right now. So it's going to have its wave, right? And it's good to have fun and play with these tools. You get to learn a lot in the process, actually. So here, what you'll do is you could just put the image and then we'll put the audio script. Let me see what, one second, let me see. What ChatGPT generated, see which one we're gonna use. I did try, by the way, to give it an image of my daughter when she was a baby. And when you give it an image of a real baby, it says that it's violating the content policies. So I don't know if that's for other tools as well, but for ChatGPT, I don't think they understand that people are trying to do this. hilarious. Oh my God, doing this now. Yeah, Maria, do it. This is awesome. So then what we'll do is we'll go to Hedra Labs, right? And then we can click this and upload the image. So let's upload this one, right? And then here we could do an audio script or upload the voice. So I can generate script. I could record the audio right now, which is what I was saying, or I can upload the audio from, previous video that I did. So I'm going to click upload audio, and then I can click the YouTube video audio file that I just got. So why did it say this? Hold on, let's try one more time. Upload audio. I don't know why. Let's try the other one. Okay, so for some reason that one didn't work. And then as you can see here, it says audio longer than 300 seconds cannot be processed. So this is one of the things that is kind of a constraint with this, is that it takes a lot of probably tokens, energy to generate these videos. So if you're on the free plan, it'll only give you 20 seconds. If you're on this, it's going to give you up to 300 seconds. Okay. And then you could just go like this to choose which part of the audio file you want. And then down here, you could actually do an AI voice changer. So I obviously don't sound like a small man baby, right? And so here I could choose the voice and I could make it a guy's voice. So
I believe that we are fundamentally the
Life isn't about finding your.
Dreams come true. Without that possibility, nature would not.
Our distrust is very expensive.
There's power in looking silly and not caring that you do.
I'd rather regret the things that I have done
I like
than
that
the
one.
things that I have not done.
The greatest gospel concert.
Which one do you like? So far, I like Thomas.
I'd rather regret the things that I have done than the things that I have not done.
That's funny. And then here you could see what it's going to say. So if I scroll down here, let's see, to be more competition when it comes to short form video content across the board in 2025. The good is going to become great and the bar is going to be higher. This is also because B2B has started to notice the power of organic social. It's actually
People
good.
like Gary, who have huge marketing agencies, are advising their B2B clients to go all in on organic social across all major social media platforms. As that happens, they have the teams, they have the resources, they have the strategists to deploy content.
It's actually pretty good. It's a good spot. And then let me just choose a voice. Let me see which one you. This is Hedra Labs.
There's power in.
I'd rather regret the things that I have done than the things that I have.
Friends show their love and
Our distrust is very.
Ideas at the
Hello there.
if you spend your whole life with
If you do what you've always done, you'll get what.
change in all things is sweet.
Gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty.
Life without love.
A wise man will make more opportunity.
The greatest way to live with honor.
We make our own fortune.
You got to be careful if you don't.
Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games.
Ethan is like whispering. That's kind of funny.
Never mistake motion.
Not what we have.
Okay, so let's just choose Thomas. Where is the voice? It's up here. Okay, and then let's generate the preview. So I didn't just use my voice in this one. Like I used my actual voice in the other one, but in this one, it's changing it to Thomas's voice, which is pretty interesting. Let's see how well it does. And I wonder how long it's going to take, maybe a minute. And these, by the way, are very, very creative. Like this is just a very small tutorial, but there's actually one I want to show you that is between a dog and a baby, and they're having an entire conversation about how come the dog has to go to the bathroom outside but not the baby, and neither of them understand why. Only the adults do. So it's pretty crazy how creative people are getting. Let me show you. Where is it? And it got 11 million views, by the way. Where's the original? This isn't the original. I know the original got 11 million views, but this is it just so we could hear it.
Yeah, in your case, you just go in your pants wherever and whenever you want, which, by the way, mad respect. You know, that's one of the things I like the most about you.
I'm actually pooing right now.
Oh, I know. I've had that thought so much.
So here.
Are you? Just keep that in mind. So my question is this. What are you? Like, you clearly seem to be a very different kind of person than I am. Am I right? Like, because like people look different from each other, you know, like different sizes, skin tones, the hair. But you, I have no idea what's going on. Does this make any sense to you? Am I crazy?
Oh, no, dude, you're 100% right. I've had that thought so many times. Look, I don't really know what I am. That's not really the kind of thing I think about or care about. But I do know that I'm significantly different than you and the other people who live in this house. Like, for sure.
Okay.
So it's pretty creative. And then they get into the conversation of, you know, how come the dog has to go outside for the bathroom and neither of them understand. So people are taking this to a different level of creativity. Conversations that have never been had before, now people could watch. So it didn't generate the preview. We'll try one more time. And then if not, I'll just click add to video. And then we'll see. And it took about originally, so, okay, so it's not going to generate the preview, but we're just going to click add to video. And then here, what we're going to do is follow the tutorial. And in the tutorial, she put as a prompt, baby talking into a podcast mic. Okay. So baby talking into a podcast mic, and then click the up arrow. Now, if you're on the free plan, one screen will pop up and it'll say, there's 19 or 25 cues in front of you. It's going to take about 30 minutes. And if you upgrade, it'll be instantly. If you're just doing this for fun, I probably wouldn't upgrade. I would just wait the 30 minutes, but I wanted to shoot the tutorial video and test a couple things out. And then you only have up to 20 seconds. So then here we see that it's already being created and it'll show the progress. You could also just go here and then you could see your library and your videos. And you can see that it's being generated. But this is pretty cool. And we'll see the final outcome. We'll see if it was able to change my voice. And just know, like, depending on the platform that you choose, like I know YouTube is very strict on that. There are creators on YouTube that will allow you to use some of their content and audio. And then there's some that will copyright strike you. So you just have to be cognizant. And same thing when it comes to if it's music. There are some platforms that are a lot more strict than others. But what ideas do you have in terms of creation? I want to know. Leave a comment. And we'll just wait for this. I'll also see if there's any more baby podcasts going on. This is also like, think of it. So for example, people are like, there are so many viral videos right now that include the Theo Von one. Like, I guess people are getting views by turning him into a baby podcaster. That is putting him on the map, so much so that he's just trending on X today. And that's probably getting him a lot more real podcast listeners. So if someone were to see this and be like, oh, well, you know, like, what value does it have? I mean, the millions and millions and millions of views that he's getting because of this will translate into podcast listeners. Those podcast listeners that stay with him translates into him getting paid more by brands, him having bigger shows because a percentage of them will eventually buy tickets. So the visibility that could be generated with this is pretty wild. And it's a lot of his virality is coming from other accounts creating his baby podcaster, which is interesting.
Recovery. So like most of the last 10 years.
How did you get addicted? How did?
No, I would just do cocaine. That was.
Oh my God. And that's a real audio from a podcast. He was saying how he got clean and stuff, and so that's why.
In the Asian realm. Do you guys have like a?
Oh, that's funny. Let's see if it's done. Okay, so there's some progress here. So now it says instead of queue, it'll go to processing, and then it'll show the progress. When I did this one, it didn't take as long. So just keep in mind that if you're going to be using your own voice, that it will probably take less time versus I asked it to change my voice. And obviously that makes sense, right? Because it has to completely change. And then here it's going 30%. But I thought that this was cool to cover. I saw that it was getting more popular and there's probably not that many tutorials that don't skip steps. What are the written instructions? Yeah, that's a good question. So the official written instruction is, hold on. I think it's baby talking into a podcast mic or baby talking into a podcast microphone. I put mic, by the way, in I think both examples. Like this one was, yeah, text prompt, baby talking into a podcast mic. And what's cool is that it could regenerate here, I believe. I'm not going to touch it though, because it may make the other one slower. And we're already at 45%. And I'll put, like, once the YouTube video, once I'm done with the tutorial, I'll put the original, this link from Justine Moore. She has some like screenshots. She used some different tools. Like she used Korea AI. For me, that's just like another thing to get, and I could do something similar in ChatGPT. So I went to ChatGPT first and it did fine with the image generation. Okay, we're almost done, 80%. And then we'll see what the final result is. Now, again, like the clip that I gave it is actually really good, especially for this style of baby podcaster that's like in a suit. It's talking about how, competition's rising. You have to get better at the skill of video to stand out. And it's ironic because it's a baby podcaster that's saying it. So it's kind of crazy how I just, I scrolled to that part of the video. And then we'll just. There are actually people as well. She has one in her tutorial thread. And are any of you on X? I have a profile there. I think it's just Shanae Murray, same profile photo as LinkedIn. She has okay, so this. Also, if you're interested in more AI baby content, I highly recommend checking out Green Frog Labs tweets. They're killing it. So they have like a series, like a Joe Dirt baby series, and there are actually people that are creating longer form podcasts by putting it all together from this stuff. So let me see.
Well, I see you got them snakes and sparklers, but where's good stuff? Good stuff. This is the good stuff. Snakes and sparklers. Are you nuts, dude?
So it's a little series called Dirt. 90%, we're almost there. Just 10 more percent. Did you get it, Maria? And then you could think of, I think like another strategy here could be think of someone that your audience really respects and watches, like a bigger influencer maybe than you. You'll get there one day, right? But right now, if they're like 10 times or 100 times bigger than you, like let's say Gary Vee, a lot of my audience watches Gary Vee. So if I could use some of what he says, like what would I have baby Gary Vee say? And it would be probably something like inspirational for my audience. So think of just someone that you could make into a baby podcaster, make them look really good. And then that would also resonate with your audience because you don't want them being like, who is this supposed to be if you're trying to make them into somebody famous. Okay, so it says 100%. So it's spinning. Maybe if I click. Okay, so it's still spinning over here, even though it's at 100%. We'll give it a minute. Okay, so here we go. Let's see.
Needs to be more competition when it comes to short form video content across the board in 2025. The good is going to become great and the bar is going to be higher. This is also because B2B have started to notice the power of organic social. People like Gary, who have huge marketing agencies, are advising their B2B clients.
I mean, it's pretty good, right? So the voice is a little AI, but I think like it did a great job because the baby like keeps touching his pants. It looks a little bit awkward. So then all you would do is you would just click download. And then you have the video on your laptop and then you could post it on your socials or whatever and, reach more people, give them a little word of inspiration, maybe through baby podcasters. So I hope that this was helpful. And Maria, text me the video when you're done. Okay, wait, let me see. That's funny. Oh, I love it. And text me the video. It looks like you. That's awesome. So hopefully this was helpful for your brand, and I'll be live again tomorrow. Share it with someone that creates online that would like this too. Ciao.